most web designers think that just posting some pretty designs or some case studies will eventually land them their first high-ticket client. I'm sorry to break it to you, it won't. Well, I tried it, but it didn't work. So, in this video, I will be breaking down my strategy, my Instagram strategy that I use to make 15K a month with my web design agency. I will show you exactly how I set up my highlights, which content strategy I use, and show you step by step how you can do it too. And it took me almost 2 years of posting content, getting 0 views and 0 clients to figure this out. So listen closely and take notes. This is what I will call the default Instagram strategy for web designers. And you pretty much see this everywhere. If you look on web design, you will always see this type of Instagram. So there's only design output there. There's mockups, screenshots, some carousels with some general tips, how to boost your conversions in 5 steps on your website, blah, blah, blah. And the problem isn't that the design is bad, it just looks the same. And if you change the username and the logo, it will just look like any other designer. And from the client's perspective, what is more important isn't the skill. Well, you have to be good at web design, but it is about comparing trust. Especially nowadays with AI, there's a lot of businesses that run on AI content creators, and you just see this. I don't know how to explain it, but even though they look really, really realistic, you will just see it. And many business owners that are looking to make a website just want to work with a real person. And the feed that only shows design doesn't answer questions like, does this person understand business? Can they think strategically? Do they understand my problems? And ultimately, who the fuck am I working with? So, when your profile doesn't answer those questions, you're automatically placed in a category of just another designer. And once you're in that category, the only thing that makes you different is the price. And you don't want to get compared on your price because, well, you will have to lower your price and then eventually you will make websites for like $50, which is what happened to me. And yeah, I tried this too. I tried those Instagram tips because everyone told me I had to post value content and carousels worked. And this was literally the only picture of me on my Instagram. And what I really said, I was posting for like 1 or 2 years without having even one client. The only thing the Instagram did for me was I had a sales call once and the client told me something like, the client, by the way, didn't find me from Instagram. It was like a friend of a friend of a friend. But he told me something like, well, I saw your Instagram. It looked nice. But yeah, that was literally the only thing. So what is the solution then? The solution is what I call the Designer OS. Well, to be honest, I couldn't think of a name. This was probably stolen by another YouTuber. His name is like Matt Gray, but something like the web designer personal brand didn't sound cool. So for now, it's just Design OS. If you know another name, just tell me. However, this is a screenshot of my Dutch content channel. And as you can see, I show my face. I have a total of 5,000 followers, which is pretty good for the Netherlands because the Netherlands has only like 70 million people living there. So yeah, by looking at my feed, you'll see me instead of designs. I just leaked some coffee. However, I get clients without even posting. And sometimes I have sales calls from clients that tell me they saw my content video. So I ask them what content was it and which video was it. And they tell me something like a video that I made like 1 or 2 years ago. And the only reason that this happens is because they see me as an authority in the web design space. Because every time I post, there's a video about me talking about web design. So I will break down my funnel. And this is really, really special. And I'm just kidding. This is really simple. I just post content. People DM me. I sometimes ask them for their WhatsApp and then I set them on a sales call. It's really that simple. I don't have like a special offer or like a special lead magnet, but well, that's it. So how should you set this up? So the first thing you look at is your highlights, and you have to see this as like your main menu on your website. It really is the second thing people will look at after your Instagram bio and your username. So I have a section about personal life, and the sole purpose of this is just to build trust. For example, I have a video of me in Dubai, my kickboxing match with a famous influencer in the Netherlands. And well, the only purpose of this is not only to build trust, but also make them think this is a nice guy to work with. And it doesn't have to be really special. You don't have to book a flight to Dubai for, well, it doesn't even make sense, but you can just literally post everything about your personal life. For example, if you go to the gym, you can post something about that. If you have a weird hobby, you play, for example, like a weird instrument that nobody knows, you can also show that. Just think of it like a Snapchat story or your Instagram, but optimized for girls. And this is a weird one, but for example, if you want to attract more girls with your Instagram, you probably won't make weird videos about you, like laughing with your friends and like doing weird things. You will probably post a picture of yourself in a nice suit, but although it is personal, and go to a luxury restaurant, for example, or go to the gym, show your body, for example, some things like that. So the second highlight section will be your work. And if you want to show your work, you can do this in this section. So show people what your quality is, what they can expect from you. And because my main offer is creating impressive visuals and my focus is really on design, I post redesigns and mockups. However, if you're, for example, focused on conversion optimization, well, you can post results from clients you've got. For example, before and after of their conversion. And also what you want to do is post your process. How do you work? You can see this, for example, like our process page on your website. And mine's a little bit weird because, well, this is my personal brand. I'm an Asian guy, so I use like Genghis Khan as a big inspiration. And lastly, but most importantly, are testimonials. And as you can see, I have a mix of video testimonials and written testimonials. It doesn't really matter, but you will have to have testimonials. I will definitely recommend video testimonials because that builds more trust. But people buy from what other people buy. Well, if you don't have testimonials, people will probably think, do you even have clients? And how do I even know that you're a good person to work with? Maybe you're just a dickhead, for example. So after your highlights, you should set up your Instagram bio. And this is also an important one because this is not only the first thing people will look at, but it also will get you high ranking on Instagram. You can see this as SEO because, for example, when people look up web designer, the word web designer, you can rank high and be the first person that they see on top if you have the right keywords. And your Instagram bio should consist of your offer. And my offer is, for example, websites and brands that stand out and sell 24/7. So people know that I'm not only optimizing conversions, but also making designs that actually stand out. But of course, this will be different for you. The second thing in your bio is building authority. And I have 5-star rating on Google and finished 100 projects. So people know that I have worked with a lot of things, a lot of people. And lastly, but most importantly, is just to add a call to action, for example, to your DMs. And I also have like a booking link for my Calendly because some people just don't like to DM and just want to book a call. So the mistake I made, and I already have said it, is just posting tips and carousels. And yes, you can of course build authority with that, but it is very different if you actually show your face and people actually know how you talk and who you are. I recommend everybody to show your face and make talking head videos like me. So what you want to do is build authority with, for example, tips on breakdowns and also viral videos because web design is very, very, very niche. If you just post content about, for example, 5 tips to optimize your conversions, this is the reason why your website doesn't look cool, something like that, you won't get views because, well, not everybody needs to have a website. But I will show you exactly my format that allowed me to make viral content, which also built authority in the web design space. So for example, here I have personal content. This is like a little bit of sketch. And if you translate it, the guy says, I want the best website in the Netherlands. And he says something like, well, my budget was only like 500, something like that. It's just a funny sketch. But the sketch also qualifies people for my budget. So this was the framework I used to build authority, but also get viral. And it was literally I redesigned for famous brand. And this was not only fun to watch because like, again, here are 5 tips how to improve your website. It isn't just fun to watch, but it also used other names. So for example, if I made a video about I will redesign the subway, people that eat at the subway will also watch the video. And this will just push your account and eventually get you more clients. This is another format that I used. This builds authority and also, again, uses a name. It's just a web design breakdown of famous brands. So just leverage other brands and other important names for your own views. Lastly, I showed you the highlights. I showed you how to set up your bio. I showed you my content strategy. And now it is time for setting. And for the people that don't know what setting is, it's just simply the bridge from a DM to a sales call. So my mistake in this was that I literally just said, for example, if someone messaged me with, "Hey, can you make a website for me?" I probably replied with, "Yes, book a call with me." And people eventually wouldn't book a call with me. Some people did, but many people didn't. And you have to build a little bit trust and show interest in your setting. So what you want to do when talking with a client in your DMs or a potential client in your DMs is first qualify them. For example, they only have 100 euros for a website. Well, you probably wouldn't want to work with them. And for example, if their deadline is like in 2 days, you also probably wouldn't want to work with them. So what you want to do is qualify them and talk a little bit about their problems. So for example, if the person says, "Hey, I have a beauty clinic and I don't have a website," you can probably say something like, "Well, oh yeah, it would be really difficult for you to reply to everyone, isn't it?" For example, something like that. And what I also do is send voice memos because it's just a little bit more personal. The client will probably know it is you and it isn't like a weird setter or something, especially when you have a lot of followers. So, to sum up this video, first, show yourself. Don't only post design content because, well, it makes you the same like every other designer. Secondly, your highlights should consist of your work, personal life, reviews, and your process. Thirdly, in your content strategy, use famous brands to leverage their name for your own content and views. And lastly, sell them the sales call, not only post a link. If you got a lot of value from this video, don't forget to leave a comment, subscribe to my channel, and follow me for more web design content.